So the vulnerable part for me was my whole family is full of entrepreneurs, and there was this franchise to do house painting, and I genuinely was afraid that I wouldn't be good at it. And I was like, wow, I really am afraid of failure. It's very easy to avoid entrepreneurship, but if your whole family is entrepreneurs, you and you go in and you aren't good, um, I was really afraid.
You're gonna have to face that failure every time you meet your family.
Yes, and it's
Uh,
it's our family are wonderful and everything, but
yeah.
pretty much everyone's an entrepreneur, and of course, not everyone is perfect, not everyone's doing it successfully all the time. But when you're young and you want to prove yourself, it really was putting my heart on my sleeve. I started the business in this part of Toronto, and for the first, so you paint the houses in the summer, but you do all your sales before the summer, and all the way till April, I was just not succeeding, and I was like, I'm like, oh my god, I'm just gonna fail. And I remember that I was like, my whole nervous system was like, I'm a failure. And I remember I had this general manager who he was like, Kimbal, you seem like you know what you're doing.
Mhm.
Why are you not making any sales? And so he actually went with me on a few sales calls, and I was like, and he's like, oh, you're he was great. You're doing this wrong. You're doing that wrong. You're doing this wrong, and change those three things. And it was uh, like a like a watershed moment. Just like all of a sudden, and I just followed the instructions of what this guy had told me. All of a sudden, every single sale I would make, well, I was like, I can't believe that it was really my lack of humility
Mhm.
to learn from someone else. I was like, no, I'm going to prove
Mm.
that I can do this without your teachings, and I was going to fail.
So to you, that humility is essential for the entrepreneur, especially young.
I would say if we have an openness to learning, which does require humility, um, you course correct, or you help get other people to help you course correct. But it does start with humility, because if you try and pretend you have all the answers, you don't.